Broadcast being brought to you by Johnston's. Johnston's, the official supplier of California Community College Athletic Awards. And Wilson's. Wilson's is the official ball of the 3C2A Basketball State Championships.
Also brought to you by Bob McCloskey Insurance. To find out all about Bob McCloskey Insurance, visit their website at bobmccloskey.com. Welcome back to the campus of Cerritos College, and we prepare for Game 2 here, the men's semifinal CCCAA Basketball Championships here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Jeff Stoynoff, Mike Cepeda with you, and Mike, it's going to be hard to top the first one in terms of high drama as we first kind of look back at the conclusion of that game. And Kai Drury, the offense was coming from all different kinds of places in that game, and then Drury in the end, the last two baskets. And what can you say about a guy who comes off the bench and beats you in the final minute that way?
Well, you know what? He had really established what he was able to do beyond the three-point arc early on in that first half, so you had to respect his shooting ability, and it paid dividends down the stretch as Adam Jacko comes out, overplays Drury, and Drury just makes a smart decision to go to the basket. Easy layup for the win.
Yeah, absolutely. And we turn our attention to our second matchup, and that's San Bernardino and Chabot. And Chabot pulls the upset
of the year, of the decade, maybe.
In beating City College of San Francisco, the overwhelming favorite in the North, really in the whole state. And why not, the way they have dominated, not just this season, but in recent years. But it wasn't wholly a surprise. They actually came within 1 point of beating City College of San Francisco in their second-to-last regular season game as well. And on the other side, they'll have to deal with Jerry Blakes. For San Bernardino, Blakes comes in with a gaudy scoring average of 20.5 points per game. And as we look at the matchup of these two teams, what's it ultimately going to come down to here?
It's really going to come down to the guard play for San Bernardino Valley versus the well-rounded team approach from Chabot. Chabot, it could be one of those things where it's an outlier versus City College of San Francisco. They're just a team that they play tough, and they happen to get the win in round 4 of the 3C2A North Regional. San Bernardino Valley, they're led. It's Jerry Blakes, also Keith Smith. Those are the two guards that you have to watch out for. Here's the thing about Jerry Blakes. Jerry Blakes can shoot the ball. You can't stop him. He's 6'5". He can get any shot that he wants. The thing is that he's a volume shooter. Yep. He's not in rhythm, and he's got a bit of a temper. If you can get him off of his game, if you can rattle his cage, that is going to be your path to success for Chabot. On the other side, Keith Smith, he does a lot of the dirty work for a point guard. He's also a shoot-first point guard, though, so you won't see a lot of facilitating, a lot of offense. You will see a lot of guard-heavy jacking up of the shots, but those shots tend to go down. That's why you see San Bernardino Valley in the championship, or in the semifinal game for that matter.
I feel an Oklahoma City comparison really brewing here. We are moments away from opening tip. We will step aside very shortly and return with Game 2, San Bernardino Valley and Chabot College. It's the men's basketball championships on SoCalCollegeSports.com. We are set to get underway. San Bernardino Valley and Chabot. And we'll set the lineups for you briefly here. Greg Brown and Leo Smith in the backcourt for Chabot, joined by Ray Baldwin, Cortez Barrett, also in the front court along with Paris Davis. San Bernardino Valley in the white jerseys, working from right to left. And this is Keith Smith. First look at Jerry Blakes. Thought about a 3. Callison swings it far side. Shot clock down to 11. Blakes faces up. Left-handed three-pointer on the way, and it's good.
Little flare at the end as he looks into the crowd after the made 3.
Well, Blakes has gone over 20 points in each of the 3 playoff games so far. Trying to answer back. The three-pointer good for Cortez Barrett.
tit for tat. Dueling banjos behind the three-point arc.
Well, it's already a little different than our first game, at least both sides connecting from long range, though we did see plenty of that from Santa Rosa. Callison leans over the dribble. Down low. Turnaround shot, no good. And that was Marcus Fuggins working on the low post. Gladiators looking to answer. Greg Brown's three-point attempt is blocked by Callison. And now San Bernardino Valley running the floor. Smith with the left-handed scoop shot, and it goes.
Gets to the rack quickly in transition. That's just a heads-up play there from the freshman.
Leo Smith, a standing dribble, 5-3. San Bernardino Valley in the lead, double pump, no good. Paris Davis looking for a call.
Don't expect a lot of second chance opportunities here for Chabot. San Bernardino Valley really cleans up the boards well.
Little push off from Callison. Blake's top of the key. Three-pointer on the way. Back iron, no good. The rebound tracked down by Smith. Barrett. A standing dribble now starts a drive. Swings it cross court. Ray Baldwin starts a move and falls to the floor, and we'll have a jump ball. No, a timeout called.
That's a heads-up play right there, getting the timeout call before the jump ball. This will be a quick 30 seconds. Jeff, why don't we keep it here?
Well, we've seen a little bit of what we expected so far with a Blake's three.
Blake's committed to ASU next season, playing in the Pac-12. Pac-12, we mentioned earlier, the winner of that tournament, UCLA, on top of Arizona. Arizona projected #1 seed in the Big Dance, and that status now a little bit in question.
Yeah, Blake's just staying with him very quickly. In the three-game playoffs so far, 24 points a game, but also 6 rebounds and 6 assists. So he's a guy who can help you out in any number of ways. So Chabot maintains possession. They will bring it in. Baseline right. Smith will bring it in. Barrett on the baseline, kicks it out. Davis starts a move. And now Smith will set things up. Smith leaning over the dribble. Right around the screen, pick and roll. Davis rolling to the basket, shot blocked, but a foul call. Fuggins picking up the foul, his first. And that'll send Paris Davis to the line. Davis shoots 68% from the line on the season. First free throw, back iron. And we see Tamarie Dixon coming in to replace Fuggins. Like San Bernardino Valley, fascinating statistics regarding their bench. To say that the majority of the offensive workload comes from the starting five is another massive understatement. How about this for a stat? In 49 minutes against Irvine Valley in the second round, the San Bernardino Valley bench took 1 shot.
Wow.
Smith on the drive, scoop shot off the glass, no good. The rebound snatched down by Baldwin.
Smith maybe injured his shooting arm.
The runner from Barrett does not go. The rebound on the floor. San Bernardino has it. Smith again on the drive. Has that shot blocked on the way up, out of bounds, and San Bernardino Valley will maintain possession.
Terrific defense by Leo Smith in transition, anticipating where Keith Smith was going on the drive, able to beat him to the spot. And Kevin Smith, his elbow smarting. He took a hard fall that last play down.
And the Wolverines will bring it in baseline left. Blake's. And they'll bring it out to Smith. Blake's coming off a screen. Cross-court pass stolen by Brown.
That's a hard pass to get through the lane from that angle. Down on the baseline trying to go cross-court.
Smith directing traffic out front. Drops it for Barrett left of the key. Check that. That's Adrian Crump. Dropping it down low. The turnaround shot blocked. The Wolverines have it.
T.A. Dixon on the block.
Blake's a hard drive, left-handed scoop goes.
That is pretty. Finger roll, hang in the air. Big time stuff there from Jerry Blakes.
5 points early, and we have a foul off the ball.
Offense.
And the foul on the screen. Crump, the first off the bench, picking up the foul. Andrew Rice coming into the game for the Gladiators. Well, just as advertised, so far it's been Smith and Blakes accounting for all 7 points. Full court pressure now from Chabot. Dixon double team finds Smith. Smith on the drive. Scoop shot, glass, no good, tipped in.
Looks like that was tipped in by Ray Baldwin of Chabot.
I think Trevon Bashir is going to get credit, but it might have been off the hand of Baldwin. 9-3.
The Wolverines are a nasty group. They will get into you.
And an offensive foul.
They're tough to score on, Jeff. They're tough to score on in the half court, especially with how athletic and big that they are. The Chabot really has their work cut out for them outside of a three made on the first possession of the ball game for the Gladiators.
Well, this is shades of our first matchup where we saw Santa Rosa struggle early on with the speed and the length and the athleticism of Chafee, and then they really got it together. But ultimately, overall, if you look at the 40 minutes, they never really did fully solve the Chafee defense. It was kind of an ugly game, and Santa Rosa was able to pull it out.
Yeah, as a team, Chabot does shoot it pretty well from beyond the arc, almost 40% on the season as a team. That's a pretty high clip. So you would expect them to have the ability to come from behind in the event that they fall in a hole right now. They're in a 6-point hole, 9-3. San Bernardino Valley on top.
Yeah, we gave the story of San Bernardino. Now for Chabot, they are led primarily by Greg Brown and Leo Smith in the backcourt as well, both averaging in double figures. But Cortez Barrett, who hit the three, is another guy to watch for this team. He missed 7 games in the middle of the season, and he's been working his way back. But at this point, they feel like they fully have him back. And he is a player that they expect big things from.
6'8" sophomore Andrew Rice checked into the ball game here for Chabot to add a little size on the interior.
Dixon, hard drive. Rice moves over to meet him, and we have a jump ball.
Right there we see Rice's presence known. Comes up with a block and the jump ball call. Arrow in favor of the Gladiators, and they will take over.
Smith walks it into the front court, calling a play. 15:32 and counting, remaining in the first half. Smith still dancing on the dribble off to Brown. Brown guarded by Callison. Baldwin, near side. Kicks it out. Brown at the left elbow, fakes a shot. Still pivoting. Three-pointer on the way. Back iron, no good. That was Jalen Rogers missing on the three. 15-minute mark. Blake's hanging in the air, swatted away by Rice. Smith with the near steal in the backcourt, but out of bounds. And instead, Chabot will bring it in at three-quarter court, still trailing 9-3.
See the presence already felt from Rice after he came. He's got 2 blocks and 2 possessions for Chabot.
Rice is a guy generally first off the bench. Baldwin drives the lane, picks up the dribble, looking for Rogers, throws it behind him, and it's a turnover for Chabot.
Baldwin trying to do too much. He's telegraphing his movements. You like to see him spin back to the baseline there and maybe put up a shot off the glass.
Well, if you're looking for what Baldwin brings to the table, I can answer that for you in one word: rebounding. 8.6 rebounds per game, and he is routinely in double figures. But he heads to the bench. The Wolverines have the basketball, leading by 6. Austin Daniels has checked into the game. Blake's fakes the three, drives the lane, picks it up, kicks it out. Callison, baseline jumper, back iron, no good. Rice snaps down the board.
That's a terrific defensive possession there for Chabot.
Smith on a hard drive, blocked, but a whistle comes in.
I think you're going to get on the body down low. Austin Daniels with the foul.
Yeah, clean block for Trevon Bashir, but Daniels gets him with the body, and Brown will head to the line. Brown shoots 78% from the stripe.
Now a chance for the Gladiators to get on the board, something they haven't done in the last 6.5 minutes.
And that free throw rims out.
5.5 minutes, rather.
Either way, it's been a while. One more coming for Brown. And that one rims in. Well, that breaks the drought. San Bernardino leading by 5, 9-4.
Shades of game one here early on between San Bernardino Valley and Chabot.
Daniels started to drive. Now into the lane. Left-handed scoop shot for Dixon, blocked. Brown trying to save, and he does. Here come the Gladiators, no numbers. Brown, hard drive, hanging in the air, scoop shot goes.
And now Chabot starting to gain a little traction offensively. They are attacking, finding seams, being very effective. They've cut the lead to 3 for San Bernardino.
9-6, Blake's crossover into the lane, off the glass, he scores.
Got to have him touch the ball more. Hey, if he's your best offensive weapon, he has to touch the ball every time down.
Yeah, this is a little shades of game 2 yesterday when we were watching Kiora Wary, and you just don't have the feeling that nobody can really stop Blake.
That's a great call.
Blake's with the rebound into the front court, double teamed off to Daniels. Daniels loses the handle, Chabot looking to run. Brown, it's a 2-on-1. Reverse layup, good.
That's a good decision there by Brown, using the rim.
Daniels, checked by Smith, off to Dixon. The Wolverines working around the outside, left-handed three from Blake's, rims high, no good. The rebound to Brown.
Now Blake's misses that shot, but they really dodged a bullet there.
No look pass to Rice, the layup is good.
The big man running down the middle of the floor. Good hands, and he finishes.
11-10. A quick 6-2 run. Chabot back within 1. The jumper from Callison, no good, and high up for the rebound. And that was Cortez Barrett.
Yeah, Barrett. You see his athletic ability and his ability to get a rebound in traffic there.
Brown comes up shooting from 15 feet, no good.
Tough shot.
The rebound to Dixon. Under 12 minutes to go in the first half, 11-10. San Bernardino on top by 1. Blake's fakes the 3.
Gonna shoot that.
Holding. Left around to Dixon's screen. Picks up the dribble. Drops it off. And Bashir holding left wing. Now the Wolverines will set things up. And a whistle comes in.
Yeah, Paris Davis.
Paris Davis picking up the foul. Steven Adams set to check in along with Keith Smith. Austin Daniels and Trevon Bashir checking out.
In the game for San Bernardino, 15, Adams, also number 3, Smith.
Smith gets it in the backcourt. Fresh 35 for San Bernardino Valley. Callison takes the 3 and hits.
You kind of knew that was going in. He kind of felt it in rhythm. That's a good shot. Had his feet ready.
14-10. The lead back to 4. Khalil James has checked in the game. Barrett on the layup, and it's good.
That's a terrific give and go there from Barrett, from Adrian Crump down low.
Crump, a nice interior pass. 2-point game.
Jeff, one of the reasons why the give and go is so effective, the man passing the ball, as soon as he passes the ball off, sometimes the natural reaction to it as a defender is, oh, I can take a break.
Blake's leaves the pass, the layup, no good. Adams couldn't get it to go, and the rebound tracked down by Crump. James at the controls. Hard drive, kicks it out, and
Baseline.
a turnover.
Foot on the baseline.
Paris Davis had his foot on the far sideline. Turnover for Chabot. San Bernardino gets it back, leading by 2.
That's a tough place to inbound there, Jeff. I'd like to see teams more often maybe try to trap in that scenario because you can't run the sideline there on the out-of-bounds play.
Callison guarded closely by Rogers. Blake's in the corner, starts a move, and he stepped on the far sideline. Well, there's a massive tit for tat for you. 14-12. San Bernardino led by as many as 7, but the Gladiators have answered. Cut this lead down to 2, and they have the ball. James between the circles. Drives it, left of the lane, picks it up, off to Crump. Crump fires from 16 and scores.
Pretty good looking stroke for the big man, Crump. That one over Adams.
Crump comes in averaging 5.4 points per game.
Added bonus from the big man to tie it up at 14.
Smith looking to the bench for a call. James all over him. Blakes spins baseline, and he's fouled by Rogers.
You see, Jerry Blakes just has a natural knack for the game of basketball. He does a good job of feeling where the defender is, spins in the opposite direction of the defender, and really, Jalen Rogers, no choice but to foul in that situation.
Yeah, Mike, I'm starting to be with you. I don't think that Blakes can handle the ball too much. Smith on the hard drive finishes with the left hand.
I see Smith and Blakes touch the ball a little bit more often. I think everybody else trying to get into the action more so than they should be.
James picks it up at the top of the key, off to Barrett. Rogers faces up on Blakes, back to Barrett. He'll let the 3 go, the foul call.
That's a good call. T.A. Dixon came in with a little bit too much steam there. Barrett sold it. As soon as he got any kind of contact, really, if Dixon breathes on him, he's going down.
Well, that looked to me like a situation where Dixon really overcommitted on the shot there. And no way to really stop himself at that point. Falls into Barrett more or less, and it becomes a very easy call. Barrett's first free throw is good. Barrett missing some time in the middle of the season, as we talked about, still averaged nearly 11 points per game. A 73% foul shooter. Hits on the first, 1 more coming. And that's good, 2 more coming. Let me correct myself there. Barrett up to 7 points. That ties Blake for game-high honors.
Santa Rosa already through to tomorrow's championship game, tentatively scheduled for 3:30 p.m.
It's an all-South women's matchup. Sir Chabot would like nothing more than to make it an all-North men's matchup. Barrett converts on all 3 free throws.
Well, you have to assume the numbers would be better for us, too, if it was an all-North matchup.
Not that we care about such things.
No, we're as objective as we can be.
Chabot with their first lead of the game, 17-16. Callison behind the back, to the glass, misses the layup, but he's fouled.
Rodney Owens, a pretty good job defending on the outside. Owens runs 6'4", looks a little taller than that. Pretty good movement with the feet. Callison able to free himself up via the behind-the-back dribble, create some separation. Little contact near the end, seemed a little ticky-tack, but he does get the call.
First free throw on the way. Rims out. Callison on the season, averaging 12 points per game. A 75% foul shooter. Greg Brown returning. Noel Brianes makes his first appearance as well. Second free throw for Callison. And he converts, game tied at 17. Leo Smith works right around to Baldwin's screen. Picks it up, finds Barrett. Barrett, fade away from the foul line. Can't get the shooter's roll. The rebound tipped around and controlled by the Wolverines.
Wow, so close.
Barrett's got a nice touch on the shot.
I agree.
San Bernardino will slow it down. Smith checked by Brianes. Looking for Adams down low. Blake's off to Callison. As the Wolverines working around the outside. Now Adams faces up. Fires from 17. Glass, no good, and the rebound to Brown.
If you're Chabot, you're going to take that shot every day of the week.
Counting down to 8 minutes remaining in the opening half, tied at 17. Briannis on the baseline. Up top, Brown, jump stop in the lane, kicks it out. Smith moves in, drops it down low. Barrett went for the jam, couldn't get it, but he's fouled.
Trevon Brashear nearly on the end of a poster. The wrong end.
Yeah, we don't see too many CCCAA posters, but that would have been one. I'd sell it. Right there would have been a classic. Barrett instead heads to the line for 2. And he's good again on the free throw. Well, Barrett, to my memory, 4 of 4 from the line.
4 of 4 from the line, 1 of 1 from behind the arc. He's your lead man for either team with 9 points. 1 more free throw to come.
Ready's the free throw, and it's good. Barrett into double figures. And Chabot with a 2-point lead. Blake's holding wide right. Starts a drive, checked by Smith. Dixon off to Callison. Gets it back, tries to split the double team. Picks it up, swings across court. Briannis has the steal. He's in one-on-one. Goes up off the bottom of the backboard and tipped out of bounds and back to San Bernardino. Well, Blake's a nice job there getting back on defense, but Briannis, I think, maybe outthought himself a little bit there, trying to draw the contact.
It's a good call there, Jeff. Briannis, do a better job of jump stopping. Make the defender make a decision. You're going to stop with you, or is he going to go for the block?
Smith behind the back. Did he push off? No, they call the block.
That's just a tough call. Smith was beaten to the spot by the defender. Looked like he bulldozed him over.
That's his first foul.
That's the 16th foul. Next one is the bonus for the Wolverines.
They will bring it in baseline right. Blake's will trigger it. Smith up top. Shot clock at 30. Blake starts to back down on Smith. Smith reaches in and steals it.
Nice defense by Leo.
And Blake's was anticipating directing traffic and had it poked away. Start and stop from Smith, a whistle. Smith goes on to lay it in, but that likely coming well after the whistle.
Smith auditioning for the and one mixtape routine. Little stop and stutter behind the back dribble.
Baldwin back on. It's a big lineup for Chabot with Baldwin and Rice on the floor. They lob it into Rice. Fuggins has returned for San Bernardino Valley. Smith drives to the glass, met by a trio of white jerseys. His follow won't go. The rebound on the floor, and the Wolverines have it back.
Oh, Smith was right on the doorstep with a layup, just couldn't get it to go.
Smith around a Fuggins screen, picks it up at the foul line, hooks a pass, baseline shot from Callison is good.
Yeah, actually that's Trevon Bashir, and Bashir had his feet ready on that one, lets it fly, and he connects to tie it up at 19.
Indeed, Bashir knocking down the shot, steal by Smith, and a foul in the backcourt.
Not a big fan of the officiating early on, Jeff. You see some ticky-tack and some hard fouls called, not called. I mean, you have to be consistent all the way through.
So Smith heading to the line. That's a very costly foul. It'll be a 1-and-1. Greg Brown returning.
Smith on the season from the stripe, 75%.
Still sorting things out. And here comes Paris Davis back for the Gladiators.
I like to see a combination of Rice and Barrett on the floor at the same time. Slow it down, get yourself a good shot in the half court, maybe work it high to low.
Smith's free throw is good. The Wolverines back out in front. Overall, San Bernardino 28-7. on the season. Come in having won 9 in a row.
Champions of the Foothill Conference.
And hey, that's impressive when 2 out of 4 teams are from that conference here in the Final Four. It's thinking of the 1985 Big East. 3 teams in the Final Four there. Barrett on the floor. Leans over the dribble. Wide left. Over to Khalil James. James calling out a play. That one tipped away from Baldwin. Smith in one-on-one with James. The shot, good.
Now Smith just has the ability to go up in traffic, contest it, and still get the layup to go.
7 points for Keith Smith. A 5-0 run after Chabot had taken a 2-point lead. James, stutter step, picks it up, shovels a pass down low. Baldwin gets the layup to go and one.
That's where Baldwin's going to be successful in the lane, making sure he has his hands ready. He was ready that time, lays it up and in, takes the contact. He can tie it up right here with a free throw.
The foul goes against Fuggins. That's his second.
And do you save Fuggins has been very effective defensively. Do you save him maybe for the second half now that he's picked up his second foul? Baldwin, who only shoots a shade under 60% on the season from the stripe, looked pretty good right there, ties it up at 22.
The Gladiators showing full court press. Jalen Rogers returns. Smith checked by James, and now Chabot will back off. Blakes faces up, left of the key. Smith in the weave, kicks a pass out. This is Callison. The three-pointer short. Baldwin tracks down the board.
Well, Jeff, you talked about what you bring Baldwin in for. His specialty is rebounding. We see him right there clear out about 2 or 3 San Bernardino guys for the rebound, and we're going to have a 1-and-1 opportunity. Is this going to be Baldwin? No, it'll be Rogers at the line. Rogers on the season connects at about 54%.
Yeah, Baldwin starting, not starting doesn't seem to matter. In a third-round victory over Cabrillo, Baldwin came off the bench with 13 and 11. First free throw for Rogers is good. In and out on the second free throw. Chabot on top by 1. You know, Mike, I wonder about Chabot as you move forward. And I have the strong suspicion that they were gaining confidence in the second half. You almost have to wonder if that 1-point loss was kind of a turning point for them when maybe they started to realize that they really could play with anybody in the state. Sometimes a close loss like that can really do it for you.
And that's a great point. And you think about the insertion of Cortez Barrett back into the lineup, too.
Rogers misses the 3. The rebound fought for and saved by the Wolverines. Blakes into the front court, no numbers, surrounded in the lane, kicks it out. Callison, a baseline drive, comes up shooting, back iron, no good.
Like to maybe milk a little bit more clock on that possession.
Davis working coast to coast, leaves it for Barrett. Barrett hanging in the air, the half hook goes.
How huge has Barrett been in the first half? That's 12 first half points for the sophomore.
Chabot with a 3-point lead. That is their largest here in the first half. Blake's facing up on Barrett.
That's it.
Fires from 3, drains it.
Buried it.
Blake's answering Barrett. 10 points in the game now for Jerry Blakes. Barrett trying to answer. He scores.
Dueling three-pointers, dueling three-point signs from each player. Barrett and Blake's going back and forth. 1-and-1 now coming to Smith.
Sorry, I want to correct that very quickly. That was Rogers on the baseline, so Rogers answering back. In any event, Chabot up 3. Smith heading to the line after a foul call. So Smith back at the stripe. Keith Smith just under 15 points per game. And now I think we have a little jawing going on.
Yeah, I think that's Rogers and Darren Smith going
Yeah, Darren
back
Smith,
and forth.
newly checked into the game. This is shades of hockey here. Is Darren Smith some kind of instigator? They're
Could
bringing
be.
him in here to stir things up a little bit?
What is average minutes per game?
10 minutes a game. Smith, one of the bench contributors.
Well, starting
The
to get a
first
little
free throw.
chippy now. Like the calls have been a little up and down. Sometimes you've seen some ticky-tack. Sometimes you see some hard fouls let go.
Second free throw is short. The rebound on the floor. And the wave off the layup from Bashir.
Foul on Smith as he fouled Rogers. Rogers going to go to the line for 2. Who's he going to be on?
Well, it's the 8th team foul. Is this a 1-and-1, or are they going to call it a 2-shot?
No, it's
That's hard to imagine. It's got to be 1-and-1.
Should be 1-1.
Okay. So Baldwin heading to the line. Well, in our first game, we saw 2 free throws combined in the first half. Not so much the case here in game number 2.
Checking in for the Wolverines, Darren Lockett at the line for Chabot, 30.
Still, the makings of a barn burner down the stretch. Only a 2-point lead. This one to Chabot. Chabot looking for the upset special here.
Yeah, and as you talked about a little bit in our pregame, I mean, after you've beaten City College of San Francisco,
House money.
giving them a run in a game, to say the least, and then beating them, hard to imagine you're going to be intimidated by anything at that point.
Chabot survived a scare in their opening round, an overtime win.
They beat Syracuse 96-88 and then bested Cabrillo before springing the upset on City College of San Francisco.
At San Francisco. First game they won by 28. The second game they win by 36. And then they lose to Chabot by 7.
Well, they might not have had a lot of experience in close games.
Well, Jeff, from what I've been told, City College of San Francisco had 8 Division I players on that team.
Lockett, hard drive to the glass, the layup too strong. Baldwin had his hands on it. Now the ball is loose. Smith gets it back. Crossover to the glass. The teardrop, good, and a foul.
Well, Rogers had committed the foul already, and Smith just floats it up there easily, and he can have the Wolverines take a 1-point lead with the made free throw.
So Keith Smith fouled by his opposite number, Leo Smith, point guard for Chabot. Second foul on Leo Smith. Smith, the free throw, too strong, tapped out, controlled by Barrett.
So 30-28, apologies.
Smith drives the lane, converged on, loses the handle. Callison looking to run the other way. 3-on-2, drops it, the shot blocked, but a foul called.
Baldwin,
Smith going to the line.
Baldwin brings his hands down. That's usually going to get called. Not a lot of contact there, a lot of ball up top, but the hands come down and you're taught as a referee, you're likely going to blow the whistle.
Boy, Smith is the kind of player that looks like a nightmare to deal with because he's very fast, but perhaps just as importantly, he's extremely aggressive.
And strong.
Creates a lot of contact and it's very difficult to, I imagine he gets a lot of foul calls sometimes on when he's initiated it, but it's hard to tell when you got that kind of speed.
Bit of a football build in the lower body. You see him with some heavy legs. Good core strength, and he's a solid player too.
Yeah, heavy legs, light feet. Seems like a good combination. Both free throws good.
Here comes the full court press from San Bernardino Valley. Now this is something that we haven't seen so far.
2:47 remaining in the opening half. Smith, Darren Smith on. Barrett off to Brown. The Gladiators break the press, but San Bernardino stays in a half-court trap. Brown dancing out front. Smith harassing him. Hooks a pass back up top. Rogers changes his mind on the three and throws it away.
That's a good adjustment defensively by San Bernardino Valley. They can throw a lot of looks at you right there and confuse you. It's exactly what they wanted that time.
Blakes backs it out. Plenty of time on the shot clock.
Nice denial by Baldwin.
Callison fires from 3, rimming no. Blakes with the foul.
Wow! Catches it in midair and finishes with a soft touch.
6 in a row for San Bernardino. They now lead it by 2. And Chabot gonna take a timeout. It's a 30-second timeout. Let's keep it here with 2:04 remaining. And Mike, you know how I love to put you on the spot, and I'm going to do it here. What do you think is behind waiting so long to then bring the press? It's a little bit over 18 minutes into the game, and then they bring the press.
I had to talk with some people from the Western State Conference in talking with them about San Bernardino Valley. Now, San Bernardino Valley, this is their first year in the Foothill Conference. Of course, they won it. But it's something where San Bernardino Valley has the ability to change their look on defense, and they'll change it on you when you're least expecting it. That's exactly what they wanted there, because now you have to worry about the three-quarter court trap, the half-court trap, when they've been strictly playing man the entire way. You have to change gears, and their ability to do that has really confused Chabot. They're packing in a little bit more in the half court, and now they go back to man. So as a coach, Chabot started to get a little bit of a rhythm. Now the rhythm is disrupted. They find themselves down 2.
Yeah, they force the turnover, convert the deuce. Barrett fakes, off to Brown. Three-pointer on the way, back iron, no good. Blakes has the rebound. Smith leaking out, in one-on-one, and they're going to catch him for the travel.
Nice job by Barrett getting back. Confused Smith momentarily. That moment of hesitation, shuffled his feet before he put the ball down for his dribble travel.
Brown will walk it up. San Bernardino back off the press. And they're going to call a backcourt violation. And we have a pretty good view of that. It looked like a decent call to me, but what a mental error there.
Davis just has to do a better job knowing where his players are. Brown tried to get in the front court. That's really the fault of both players there. If you're Brown, you have to have more of a sense of urgency to get the ball in the front court there. Now you turn it over. 90 seconds remaining here in the first half. An opportunity here for the Wolverines to extend on their 2-point lead.
A turnover in a 2-point game. It would be very costly. Callison in the weave, fakes the 3, kicks it out. Smith fires from 3, no good. Rice high up for the board.
Really like what Rice has done here in the first half. His presence inside, he has 3 blocks. I want to say 6 rebounds unofficially. We'll get some stats up for you shortly.
Brown, a standing dribble, drops it down. Davis into the lane, jump stop, the fade away, swish.
That's pretty easy. I mean, if it's as easy as that all day, you might as well just go back to Davis.
Under a minute, tied at 32.
Makes up for the turnover there.
Smith will back it out. About a 16-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Callison off to Lockett. Blakes out front, the shot clock at 14.
Be wary of bringing the help over from Callison's side.
Left around a screen, Blakes from 3, good!
Feeling it here in the first half. That's 15 first half points for the Arizona State-bound Jerry Blakes.
Blakes. Well, there's D1 talent for you. 11 seconds remaining in the first half. San Bernardino back out to a 3-point lead. Brown around a Rice screen. 3 seconds from 3. The whistle comes in, and the foul's going to go on Smith.
Jeff, in watching Chabot react the way they do when they get contact to a defending player on the 3, they're taught that. Looks like they're taught to go down if there's any kind of contact made.
Maybe even go down if you feel the guy's even closing out at you.
I don't think there's any thought in Brown's head, in Greg Brown's head, that he was going to make that shot.
No, it was pretty much a desperation shot. First free throw is good for Brown.
Opportunity for Brown to tie things up here and really make this a 0-0 game going into the second half.
Brown, a 78% foul shooter, 2 more coming. 1.5 seconds on the clock.
Well, Jeff, you have the favorite here tonight in the men's Final Four, San Bernardino Valley College. I think the consensus overall favorite to win the championship this year, but they are in absolute war here with Chabot and the Gladiators tonight.
Brown's free throw, too strong. Blake's going to let fly from three-quarter court. Off the glass, no good.
It's off the shot clock.
Well, I wanted to give him a little more. I'm an optimist. We head to the half. San Bernardino on top of Chabot, 35-34. We'll step aside, come back with a look at some halftime stats. You are watching the CCCAA Men's Championship here on SoCal College Sports.
Sports fans, for the latest online news, statistics, and scores of community college athletic events, log on to the California Community College Athletic Association's official website, www.cccaasports.org. This broadcast being brought to you by Bob McCloskey Insurance. Bob McCloskey, proud to be the official insurance partner of the CCCAA and has been a leader in student sports insurance since 1975, with student sports and camp insurance being their specialty. Find out all about Bob McCloskey Insurance. Visit their website at bobmccloskey.com.
Also brought to you by Jostens. Jostens is the official supplier of California Community College Awards. The CCCAA applauds Jostens and its continuing commitment to support California community colleges. Each year, Jostens provides medals and trophies to nearly 100 regional and state championship events sanctioned by the California Community College Athletic Association. Jostens is a proud sponsor of the CCCAA's annual Sports Hall of Fame induction banquet. And brought to you by Wilson. Wilson is the official ball of the CCCAA Basketball State Championships. Wilson and the CCCAA have worked together to ensure that participating student athletes enjoy a memorable experience at the Basketball State Championships. Wilson manufactures the country's highest quality basketball and is featured at this year's state championship. Wilson and the CCCAA, two champions working together to serve community college athletics. Halftime from Cerritos College. Game 2, the men's semifinals, the CCCAA basketball championships here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. San Bernardino on top by 1 over Chabot, 35-34. A quick look at the leading scorers. Jerry Blakes leads the way for San Bernardino Valley with 15 points to go along with 4 rebounds. 12 points for Keith Smith, accounting for just under 80% of the offense. Meanwhile, for Chabot, 12 points for Cortez Barrett, 6 points for Greg Brown, and 5 points for Ray Baldwin. 35-34, and we're set to get underway here in the second half. Well, it can go either way here, and what's your feeling here on where each team needs to go? Let's start with Chabot. What have they done well? Where do you want to see them go from here?
Well, you know, they find themselves in unfamiliar territory here. They're down 1 in the rebounding department. They usually out-rebound their opponents by an average margin of 13 a game. 17-18 in favor of San Bernardino Valley going into the half. And if you have to like a team, you have to like San Bernardino Valley. They have a player that can get a shot whenever they want. Here's Blakes for 3.
Yeah, in and out for Blakes. The rebound tipped out of bounds, and Chabot will get it. Indeed, Blakes fires a fadeaway from about 22 feet.
At the same time,
nearly buries it.
At the same time, Cortez Barrett's been very effective. He leads the Chabot Gladiators with 12 points in the first half. He's got to be your go-to guy down the stretch if you're Chabot.
Davis, a jump stop, drops it down low. Smith thought about the 3, moves in. His shot from 15 feet off the side of the backboard.
Chabot has to do a better job not only making shots, but I like the pump fake and the use of it there from Smith. He just has to get it to go.
Smith, a standing dribble between the circles. First minute of the second half. San Bernardino leading by 1. Hook pass from Fuggins, the layup for Callison.
Great movement off the ball there from Callison. It's a nice find for the big man Fuggins.
Smith, wide right, on the baseline for Brown. Barrett holding, checked by Dixon. Baldwin on the drive, has it tipped away, gets it back, trapped under the rim, leaves the pass for Barrett. The teardrop won't go. Dixon clears the rebound.
Fuggins a huge factor inside. He was a factor on that one.
Start and stop for Smith, and he's fouled.
Nice.
Traveled.
Wow.
Looked like Baldwin got a piece, but Smith traveled first. Smith at the top of the key. Off to Davis. Barrett. Far side, Baldwin. Baseline drive on Fuggins. Finds Barrett. The layup is good.
Beautiful feed from Baldwin inside to Barrett. Barrett, it's 14th point of the night.
Oh, Barrett's got a nice variety of shots there in among the fellow trees. And he gets the scoop shot to go. Smith around the Fuggins screen. Big step. Finger roll is good.
It's a big time moving the lane there from Keith Smith.
Smith with 14. Right on Blake's heels for leading scorer honors. Baldwin a hard drive to the glass, and he's fouled by Callison.
Good recognition there from Baldwin working against Fuggins. A decided speed advantage. He takes him to the rack. He's going to be rewarded with 2 free throws. He only shoots at 60% from the line, but from what we saw in the first half, very effective from the stripe.
So Baldwin heading to the line.
Bit of a jinx.
Well, I didn't say anything.
I did.
Now I thought now I'm creating an imaginary jinx. That's real talent. The Wolverines lead it by 3. One more free throw coming up for Baldwin. Baldwin, a fairly quiet first half, 5 points, just 3 rebounds. Misses both free throws. And now the Wolverines with an opportunity to extend on a 3-point lead. Smith directing traffic off to Blakes. Blakes thought about a 3. Callison top of the key. Drops it for Bashir. Bashir off to Smith. Smith, hard drive, scoop shot, rim's no good. The rebound on the floor. Who's it going to? Looks like it will stay with San Bernardino. Indeed, Blakes will bring it in baseline right.
Good adjustment offensively for San Bernardino Valley. They're working very well off the ball. We saw Callison come free for an open layup. Here's Blakes, a little one-on-one.
The leaner won't go. The rebound on the floor. Brown and Bashir digging for it, and it's going to be a jump ball, or did they call a timeout?
He gets a timeout call.
San Bernardino with a timeout, and that's a big play as the possession arrow right now favors Chabot, so they keep the ball. 17:03 remaining here in the game. San Bernardino on top, 39-36. It's the men's championships on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Set to go. San Bernardino with a third opportunity on this possession. Inbounded to Smith. Smith, checked by Smith. Blakes. Dixon off to Callison. Callison, a little push off. Let's go from 18. Rimming high, no good. Tipped up, no. And the rebound cleared by Baldwin.
Nice challenge by Barrett. Baldwin cleans it up.
Smith picks it up at the top of the key. Barrett starts a drive. Brown fakes the three, comes up shooting at the free throw line, changes direction off to Smith. Shot clock at 16. Davis working down low. The turnaround hook is good.
That's a shot that he is very comfortable with. You see him use his shoulders to create separation. Working against T.A. Dixon. He gets the hook shot to go, and now Chabot going to bring their own full court pressure here. They'll back off. Give you a little bit of a different look here. Sometimes that can fluster the point guard, but Keith Smith, very adept handling the basketball.
Smith spins away, off to Blake's long three is good.
He stepped right into it, knew exactly what he was going to do with it about 5 seconds before he let that shot go.
Blake's with 18. That's the high score in the game.
Every time we've seen a three from San Bernardino Valley, Chabot has answered.
Another hook for Davis, short. The rebound to Bashir. Here come the Wolverines looking to run. Dixon, jump stop, finger roll won't go. His follow does.
Perhaps a well-needed timeout to be called here by Chabot. No, they're going to let him play.
Trailing by 6. And a timeout now taken by Chabot.
Maybe you heard me.
That's it. It was the Dickie Vitale call there. You knew. You had the pulse of the timeout. And, well, let's keep it here. What do you see here from San Bernardino? They stepped up the intensity here in the second half a little bit, but maybe just a little more Jerry Blakes.
Yeah, Jerry Blakes, he hits that three right there, but I feel like the penetration, I don't really like it if you're Chabot. The penetration that San Bernardino Valley has been able to get, the inside play that they've been able to exploit. Like to see Rice get back into the fray for Chabot. He was a difference maker in the first half, blocked 3 shots. It's something where you have to solidify your defense on the interior. If you have to bring a bench guy off who's been effective in the first half to do it, so be it. But I don't see Rice getting into the fray right now, still on the bench, and I don't see him substituting anytime soon.
Andrew Rice, in 3 minutes, 2 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 blocks.
I
mean, that's as big a difference as you're going to see
They're
coming
missing
in
a
off
block.
the bench.
I know for a fact I counted 3 in the first half.
Yeah,
so
but the point is, that's a lot of production.
And
very
it
seemed
effective.
like he was on the floor for longer than 3 minutes. Yeah. So it's I think it's good advice, for Chabot. And let's see how they handle things trailing by 6.
Jeff, how many times do we talk about players who don't necessarily fill up the stat sheet but are just an unbelievable presence when they're in the game, whether they're able to facilitate or be that defensive stopper? Right now, Chabot needs that. It's not that they need offense. Of course, they need to put the ball in the basket. Good things are going to come if you can create offense going the other way defensively.
Yeah, ultimately, there's only one basketball, so you need some guys to do some other stuff for you. Noel Brianis has checked into the game for Chabot. Barrett off to Briannas. Entry pass gets away, a steal for San Bernardino, ahead to Smith. It's a 1-on-3, Smith goes up, he's fouled. Brianna's gonna pick up the foul, and Smith going to the line for 2. Well, only Keith Smith can go in 1-on-3, but have the sheer aggressiveness to get the foul and get himself to the line.
Pretty good separation there for Smith. Separation, speed up the middle.
Well, here's a guy going full speed, spinning in the lane underneath the basket. You'd like to think, hey, let him put a shot up there if he can make it. But he has a way of drawing that contact, the physicality. And the first free throw is good for Smith. He's up to 15 points.
There's a coach, we won't name any names, but from the Orange Empire Conference, I will say where he's from. And here comes Rice to check into the ball game for Chabot.
So here comes Rice.
Come on for Briannas. But we spoke with an OEC coach earlier during halftime and said they like San Bernardino Valley to play tomorrow in the championship game versus Santa Rosa.
A 7-0 run for San Bernardino. It's now an 8-point lead. Smith, hard drive, off to Baldwin, misses the dunk. The rebound loose. The Gladiators have it back. Foul called, and Barrett heading to the line.
You like the aggressive play there from Baldwin, but if you don't have it, you're starting too far away. Just lay the ball in, get your 2 points. See the difference that Rice makes on the inside, though. Goes for the rebound after the missed dunks, keeps it alive. Barrett able to get the rebound, put it back up, not get the ball to go, but he is going to have two free throws coming his way.
First free throw is up and good. Well, Mike, how is someone going to get themselves into our fledgling poster business here if they don't, if they don't throw down a jam? We already got the growing YouTube account, a growing assortment of dunks.
Yeah, we have about 4 followers
that we've clipped out. Well, this is the term fledgling here for
you.
us.
This is the stage to do it.
The early years. 1 of 2 for Barrett. 7-point lead. Smith dancing on the dribble off to Blakes. Callison works left, leaves it for Bashir, now gets it on the give and go. Spinning baseline back out to Bashir. Blakes around a Bashir screen, tries to get by Rice. Rice poked it away. Steal for Chabot. The alley-oop looking for Baldwin, tipped away by Smith.
Oh, that looked like it went out of bounds off of Baldwin, and Rice or Keith Smith trying to plead his case. I think it was tapped out of bounds by Baldwin. And indeed, they will overturn the call.
And that's the call. Eagle eyes, Zepeda. Nice call. I tend to use you on the yard markers in football, but I see that you have tremendous value here as well. Smith between the circles.
Better than your average spotter.
Smith facing up around a Bashir screen. Stutter step into the lane, late whistle and a foul called. It looked to me like Rice had his hands straight up, but Smith again able to create the contact, and he'll head to the line for free throws.
Tough call. Looked like Rice hands straight up, but he was leaning in with the body, and that's where they're going to get him with the call. So Smith going to go to the line for 2.
His first foul. Smith already with 16 points. Smith already now attempting his 10th free throw in the game. He's 6 of 9. In and out. And Keith Smith doing a little Adrian Dantley imitation. One more free throw coming for Smith. Jalen Rogers going to come in for Greg Brown. Rogers with 4 points in the first half. Darren Lockett checking in for San Bernardino. Charles Callison will head out. Second free throw in the air and in the basket. Back to an 8-point lead. 14:04 and counting remaining in the game. Smith drives it right of the lane, leaves it for Rice. Rogers, and they swing it near side to Barrett. Barrett Baseline three, short. The rebound corralled by Blakes. Blake's doing it all. He's got 18 points. He's been effective on the boards. 4 rebounds in the first half. Picks up another one there. Smith, and a timeout called as he was dogged by Leo Smith.
Quincy Brewer wanted to talk things over. Didn't like how his team set up. He's going to get into the ear of the official here. Smith being hawked while he was with the ball. Brewer didn't like the contact, so to speak, or the amount thereof.
Something to keep an eye on. Both teams down to 3 timeouts, so it could yet be a factor with still 13:30 remaining in the game if this one goes down.
A different complexion foul-wise here. Both teams with only 2 fouls apiece, whereas in the first half, both teams were in the double bonus. So the calls, referees have differed in terms of their approach of how they're going to call it, and teams are going to have to adjust accordingly.
Mike, is Quincy Brewer the coach that was with Riverside at one point? I don't think that sounds right.
No, I think John Smith.
John Smith, that sounds right. Okay. San Bernardino back on the floor. Steven Adams has checked in. So it's Darren Lockett and Smith in the backcourt. Dixon, Blakes, and Adams up front. And Chabot counters with a front line of Owens, Rice, and Barrett.
San Bernardino Valley coaching staff working the ear of the referee. So
Smith and Rogers in the backcourt. Sorry, Michael.
See if it's called a little closer here in this possession.
Lockett checked by Rogers. Adams in the corner. Backdoor cut. Smith, the left-handed layup is good.
That's a beautiful cut and finish over the big man Rice.
Largest lead of the game for either team. San Bernardino has stepped out to a 10-point lead. Hard drive from Owens, softly off the glass.
Adams late getting over on the help from San Bernardino. Owens.
Nice offensive move from Rodney Owens.
Where's that been?
Owens comes in, averaging just 4.5 points per game. Blakes fakes the 3. Lockett drops it for Adams at the right elbow. Smith off a screen, fakes.
Quick.
The teardrop is good. Smith going to town here in the second half.
He has 21.
Well, it's Blakes who comes in averaging over 20 a game, but Smith with 21 on the board. Smith picked up by Adams in the switch. Rogers thought about a 3, fakes, drives, kicks it out to Smith.
Got to be ready to shoot that ball.
And a whistle off the ball. It's going to go against Chabot. Looks like it's going to go against Rice. So Andrew Rice struggling somewhat in a stint here in the second half.
Well, they had switched off, and Smith kind of sold it a little bit. And when we say sell it, we mean flop.
Let's be clear.
Let's be honest here. Rice going to come off, replaced by Baldwin. So the defense maybe takes a hit, but the rebounding roughly remains the same.
Austin Daniels in for San Bernardino. Adams out front. Baldwin tips it away, has the steal. Off his foot, not a playboy. Baldwin nearly had it, and that would have been a 2-on-1. Rogers had leaked out in front of the crowd.
Tough break there for Chabot.
Blakes will bring it in at half court. 11:56 remaining in the game. San Bernardino has taken control here in the second half. They have outscored Chabot 16-7 here over the first 8 minutes to open up a 10-point lead. Blakes hands to Callison. Callison drops it to Dixon. Dixon circles left, has his shot blocked, gets it back. High arcing shot,
blocked
catches,
again.
No iron. Barrett has the rebound. Smith, hard drive, tries to leave a pass inside, and it's stolen by Daniels.
It's just a terrible decision there by Smith.
3-on-3, the lob pass to Dixon. Layup, good, and a foul. Well, it's all San Bernardino now, Michael.
The wheels starting to fall off here for Chabot.
Owens pleading his case, saying that he got all ball, but I think the foul was on the arm there, maybe a little bit with the body. The ball certainly wasn't tipped. So Dixon with a chance to make it 3 the hard way. Lefty free throw is good. 54-41. 13-point lead for San Bernardino, and they have put a stranglehold on this game. Khalil James checked in, picks up the dribble, looking for help, finds Baldwin. Owens on the baseline. Off to Baldwin. Baldwin checked by Blake, starts to back down. Into a crowd, loses the handle. The rebound corralled by the Gladiators. James, hard drive to the cup, misses the finger roll, the tip is good.
Baldwin cleaning it up. Plenty of time in this ball game. You just have to chip away at this lead. 54-43. You're not going to see any dramatic three-pointer barrages from Chabot. That's not their MO. Just need to play well-coached, disciplined defense. Get back into it.
Entry pass to Dixon. Hard drive, second effort. What's the call?
TA. Getting it done.
And it is indeed basket and a foul. So Dixon working on back-to-back three-point plays. Well, Dixon had a quiet first half. 9 minutes, no points, did have 4 rebounds. But Dixon is a regular contributor, averaging nearly 11 points a game. So you expect to hear from him eventually, and here he is.
Yeah.
10:21 remaining in the game. Dixon's free throw is good. And now the lead out to 14. James out front, off to Baldwin. Baldwin facing up on Adams. Spins into the lane, met by Daniels, and a whistle comes in. Baldwin was fouled.
Remember, everybody, we will have coverage of the championship men's game tomorrow, roughly at 3:30 p.m. after the women's game. Of course, in the women's game, it'll be number 1, number 2 from the South, Mount Sac and Ventura. A rematch of last year's championship game. Mount Sac looking to go three-peat tomorrow.
If San Bernardino can hold on here, it would be the 3rd meeting of the season between Chaffee and San Bernardino. And in the women's matchup, Ventura and Mount Sac, they played earlier. So some familiarity might be a developing theme for tomorrow.
It'll be Santa Rosa.
I'm sorry, you're right. Take that back. Santa Rosa with the 2-point win.
So you thought Chaffee was going to win that game?
Maybe I did. I don't know. Well, what do I know? Foul in the backcourt, and this one's going to go against Owens.
How about Santa Rosa's ability to shoot the free ball earlier today?
Unbelievable.
26 points in the first half, 24 of them, 8 3-point balls.
8 of 14. Well, here's the theme. Let me stay with it. How about three-point shooting tomorrow? We're going to see Santa Rosa, and it's the best barrage of three-pointers I've seen since Ventura the day before. And what they did in their semifinal matchup.
Cynthia Hernandez.
Hoisting over 33s as a team. Adams in the lane.
No.
And they'll wave it off.
Well,
Adams
either way,
his feet.
It's going to be a turnover either way. It was either a travel or 10 seconds in the lane. It's supposed to be 3 seconds.
Quick three on the other side. Owens off the glass, no good. The rebound on the floor. A scramble for the ball. And a timeout taken by Chabot. 9:35 remaining here in the game. San Bernardino on top 57-44. You are watching the CCCAA Men's Championship here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Welcome back to the campus of Cerritos College. Jeff Stoynoff and Mike Cepeda with you. SoCalCollegeSports.com's coverage of the CCCAA Basketball Championships. Game number 4 of 6. We're moving right along in this weekend. Quick pass down low. Owens missed the layup. Adams with the board.
Owens got clobbered on the arm. No call.
Chabot can ill afford any bad breaks here, trailing by 13. And they didn't get the call there. Callison spins away. Snaps a pass off. Down low. Adams the turnaround off the glass.
That's a big-time move. Lower the shoulder, but not too much. Get some separation. Kiss it off the glass. The lead swelling to 15 for the Wolverines.
Adams started 18 games on the season, so he's seen his minutes. He's averaging over 5 points a game. Brown in on Adams, and he gets the layup. That's great body control from Greg Brown.
Let's say we saw Adams last year.
And that pass thrown away. Chabot with the steal. Brown having trouble, gets it back off to Barrett. Snaps a pass down low to Crump. Crump double teamed. Looking far side, the three-pointer from Brown is good.
5-0 run that cuts the lead to 10.
59-49. Dixon into the front court, off to Blakes. Blakes softly off the glass, missed the layup. The rebound on the floor. Here comes Chabot, looking to cut it to single digits. James, hard drive, off the glass, in and out. Crump swoops in for the rebound, he missed the layup. Adams with the board. Fouled in the backcourt. Boy, James and Crump both from point-blank range. That close.
Adams going to go to the line. Looked like he maybe jammed his finger on that last play. Let's see if that's a factor here at the charity stripe.
That was a tough shot for James, and he nearly got it to go. And then Crump does a great job on the offensive glass.
Good recognition there by James, the freshman, recognizing that he had a good matchup versus Adams out front. Goes to the rack. An awkward shot, but exactly right. Almost got it to go. You have to feel that he feels pretty comfortable with that move.
Well, it's almost time here, and it's time to start talking about the Jim Durham school here. You talk about a potential 4-point turnaround. That's the 2 that you don't get. And instead you end up fouling Adams.
Yeah.
And if he converts 2 here, that's a big 4-point swing. Instead of 8, now we're talking about 12 again.
Yep.
Adams misses the second free throw, and the
Lakes.
ball tipped out of bounds. Chabot will get it back, trailing by 11. James jogs it into the front court. Dancing on the dribble out front. Barrett down low to Crump. Crump spinning baseline, well defended by Smith. Loses it, gets it back, goes off the glass and scores.
Good use of the backboard by the big man Crump.
Chabot has come alive offensively in the last couple of minutes. The deficit down to 9, but still some work to do. Blake's tiptoeing the far sideline and tries to throw it off Crump.
And I think he did so successfully.
Blake's has been quiet in the second half. Just 3 points. It's been Keith Smith who's ignited this second half run. Callison guarded closely, loses the handle, passes out of a double team. Smith has it. Smith, jump stop in the lane. The layup no good. Back tap and Brown's got it. Brown in transition. James thought about a 3. Now Brown lets fly and a whistle comes in again.
That's funny. He wasn't even tapped. If you look at the replay here, Jeff, doesn't even look like Smith touches him.
Yeah, we're watching on the delay here.
Yeah, Brown just falls down.
Yes,
and he
Smith
gets
really
the call.
just slides in front of him as we
And
were able to get a second look.
And Coach Quincy Brewer has to be irate.
Well, it's hard to get yourself away from the discipline of at least stepping out and challenging a shot a little bit. You're not really conditioned to just let guys shoot. And it's up to the officials then, I think, to read that play.
Yep.
But Smith slid right in front of him. It was very close. And Brown does a nice job. And, of course, part of what makes it so effective is Brown pretty good from the line, 78%. He's hit the first 2 here.
Hey, that helps.
And, hey, a moment ago, we were talking about a 14-point lead. It's down to 7 with one more free throw coming. So Chabot very quickly has worked their way back into this game.
Cal Poly San Luis Obispo down by 4 to Cal State Northridge at halftime. It was Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Cal Poly slow coming away with the victory over Irvine UCI.
Dixon and 1.
Right back the other way.
Well, Blake's has done a nice job. He's been quiet in the second half, but I think he's doing a nice job of not forcing the action. But he's been picked up beautifully by Keith Smith and T.A. Dixon. Dixon going for his 3rd 3-point opportunity here in the second half.
New Mexico State up by 13 on top of Idaho. Idaho starting point guard for the Vandals. Mike Hall last year, lead point guard for Antelope Valley.
Stutter step from James, nice interior pass. Barrett turned away by Adams, tries to turn around, that won't go. The rebound on the floor. Here come the Wolverines looking to run. Smith leaves it for Dixon, another and 1.
Gonna be his 4th. 3rd of the second half by my count.
I think all 4 have been in the second half.
I think you might be right.
Well, this is just crazy. T.A. Dixon around the basket. Give you the tin cup here. Somebody tackle that guy. I think they're trying to. And this time he converts the 3-point play. And now the lead back out to 11. Well, we wondered with the barrage of 3-pointers from Santa Rosa in the first game, if that wasn't a little demoralizing. Does it get a little demoralizing when a guy keeps on getting and 1 opportunities on you?
It's a great point.
Brown fakes the 3, hard drive, loses the handle. The ball's loose. Crump's got it, he's hammered.
By Blake's.
Well, Blake's a good hard foul there as he's trailing that play a little bit. But rather than let Crump throw one down, he's going to send him to the line for a couple of free throws. Crump, a 69% foul shooter. 4 points in the game. Just the second foul on Blake's. 6:28 remaining in the game. And the first free throw from Crump is good. Chabot with 9 team fouls. So San Bernardino, another advantage. They will be shooting 2 free throws on any foul the rest of the way. Just 5 team fouls on San Bernardino. Blake's holding. 10-point lead for the Wolverines. Taking their time, working the outside. Dixon starts a drive. Out front to Smith, the shot clock at 7. Smith goes to work, drives with the left hand, the follow by Dixon won't go. James leading the break, snaps a pass looking for Crump.
The freshman trying to go no look with a little flare on it. Instead, Crump didn't have his hands up, wasn't ready for the pass, and he goes right through his arms.
Yeah, he not only a no look, but he rifled it as well.
You gotta put a little touch on it there.
Tough ball for Crump to handle and a turnover for Chabot, trailing by 10 with 5:49 remaining. Blake's working against pressure. Off to Smith. Wolverines working the outside, working the clock, the shot clock at 15.
The freshman, give
Dixon,
James some credit.
Hard drive on Baldwin, the runner won't go, tipped up by Adams.
Give James some credit, the freshman for Chabot, doing a better job one-on-one on Keith Smith, but the other players, T.A. Dixon, Adams, doing a great job picking up the slack for San Bernardino.
Well, the double-digit rebounding edge that you referenced in the first half coming to light here in the second half. You see the follow there for Adams. A whistle, meanwhile, off the ball. That'll be the 6th-team foul, so now San Bernardino in the bonus as well. Darren Lockett going to replace Blakes, and I imagine this will be just a minute or so on the bench for Blakes. Get him a quick blow, and he'll be back. The Gladiators will bring it in baseline right. Baldwin, drop step into the lane, the left-handed hook, no good, but a foul called. 2 free throws coming for Ray Baldwin.
So Adams going to be teed up here, trying to initiate.
Yeah, Adams and Crump.
Is it going to be a double technical or? See Adams come in on the replay here. Yeah, this should just be on Adams, because Adams is the one that came over after Crump had said something.
Dude.
Okay, so it's going to be a double technical.
Okay. Yeah. So Baldwin heading to the line for a couple of free throws after they get that sorted out.
Both teams in the bonus.
And the first free throw from Baldwin is good.
Need all the points you can get. 5 minutes, a long way to go. Wolverines not out of the woods yet.
Mike, to me, I think if Chabot is going to make a run here, it's got to be initiated on the defensive end. They're pretty long. They can generate good pressure defensively. I think the turnovers are going to be the quick way back into the game.
See if they go to the press.
And Baldwin converts on both free throws.
Brings it back into the ball game
to a 10-point deficit. So Blake's, well, that was a short rest, about 4 seconds. And indeed, good call. They show the full court pressure. Callison in the front court, trapped on the far side. That ball tipped away and stolen. Owens loses the handle. Smith has it back. Smith fouled out front by Owens.
Callison did a wonderful job after he had the ball stolen, pokes the ball away. Smith comes up with it, but now Keith Smith down on the deck, shaken up.
The double bonus will send Smith to the line for 2 free throws, 4:49 remaining in the game. Smith heads to the line. He's already attempted 11 free throws by my unofficial count. And that free throw rims in. Smith gets the shooter's touch.
Oh. Jerry Blake's performance has been pretty impressive, but Keith Smith has been the best player on the floor tonight. His ability to get free, his quickness has just been electric for the Wolverines.
I think one of the things I think is interesting is you watch Blake. Blake very smooth, very silky, like his game. Obviously, you can see the near ridiculous potential, but you have to like Smith's tenacity.
Yeah. It's extremely vigorous.
12-point lead once again. Baldwin working around Fuggins, has it poked away. Callison on the drive, goes for the left-handed jam and missed it. Brown back the other way, into the lane. Down low, Baldwin blocked from behind by Fuggins. Baldwin gets it back, Fuggins blocked it
nice
again.
Job by Fuggins, keeping his hands straight up, not coming down, no foul called.
Dixon hands off to Blakes, and this is a good decision. What a good decision by Blakes right there. He's easy to get caught up in the momentum of the game, recognizes the situation, slows it down. Right now the clock, an ally for San Bernardino Valley. Good pressure defense by Brown, nearly had the steal. Blakes gets it back. Blakes falling down out of bounds, throws it off Smith.
That's just a heads-up play by Blakes.
The shot clock at 10, 4:02 remaining in the game. And perhaps most importantly, San Bernardino with the ball. Dixon facing up on Baldwin. Drives it baseline, left-handed layup off the glass. How about T.A. Dixon in the second half? Boy, if anything other than what we've seen from Smith, we'd be talking about Dixon as possible player of the game here. 15 points, all in the second half. Smith in trouble, throws it away. Lockett has the steal.
And you really have to credit the defense here in the second half. They made the adjustment, has San Bernardino. Their intensity level has gone up another notch, and you see it on the scoreboard, up 14, when this was just a 1-point game at the half.
Yeah, they've limited Chabot to 23 points in the second half. Blake's off a baseline screen, and they're going to catch Dixon. Look like a moving screen. So the turnover gives it back to Chabot. But the Gladiators nearing life support here, down 14 with 3:11 remaining. Oh, you know, I haven't really had a chance to drop this in, but one of my favorite Durham lines. But you start to wonder at this point, Chabot might need to pitch a shutout from here to get this
you might be
to
right.
get this one done.
Well, Cinderella for sure. Chabot. The clock about to strike midnight on the Gladiators.
Brown, crossover on Lockett, backs up, pump fake, has the three, blocked by Lockett. Smith out in front, but the pass too high from Dixon. Well, you have to love the defensive intensity if you're San Bernardino, but the turnover on the break gives it back to Chabot. James around the screen, now trapped left of the lane. Finds Crump, the three, air ball, rebound Crump, the follow no good.
And now Chabot.
On the floor, it's Lockett, and he traveled.
Chabot just can't buy a bucket. It's Barrett, your lead scorer, point blank. Just can't get it to go.
Yeah, Baldwin up to 10 points. Barrett leads the way with 15, but it's been a quiet second half for Cortez Barrett, just 3 points. Speaking of three, fires from long range, rimming high, no good. Barrett his own follow.
Yeah, that was Crump.
Check that. You're right, Cortez not taking that shot. That was Crump getting his own rebound. Well, you take a look at Crump on the season. Hasn't hit a three on the season, so perhaps not surprising that he was following that ball in. Might not have been expecting it to go.
Desperate times call for desperate measures, my friend. I think right now, 2:34 remaining. You're down by 14. Make that 13 now after the made free throw. You gotta pull out all the stops.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Crump now with 5 points. Second free throw is up and good. 7 points for Crump. A 12-point lead for San Bernardino, 71-59. Mike, I'm about a minute away from asking you to break down your early thoughts on the matchup tomorrow. And first, a turnover in the backcourt by Blakes.
San Bernardino Valley, they're going to be the favorite going into tomorrow. I think it's decided. They have the more athletic team. They have the best player on the floor, maybe the best two players on the floor. But that three-point shooting ability, uncanny for Santa Rosa. If they stay hot, and remember, they don't get a day off and then they play the championship game. They're going right from today's performance into tomorrow's final. So they're going to get less than 24 hours of a turnaround to be on display tomorrow. I think Santa Rosa is very live if they can get their threes to fall. But, granted, it's going to be against a better team defensively. Chafee pretty good, but, God, Santa Rosa, when you have the ability to shoot from 27 feet with regularity, it makes you live in any contest, and it just opens things up more offensively if you want to drive, if you want to cut. Big men doing not too much. It's not really a part of their game, but, it's really – you're really at the mercy of the three-point shooting when a team like that has that ability. But the Wolverines, if they can do a good job of really doing what Chafee did in the second half in the game earlier today, of putting Santa Rosa and the Bear Cubs on their heels defensively, that's really got to be your plan of attack, and they definitely have the personnel to do it. Smith, Dixon, and of course, Jerry Blakes.
Well, and it looks to me as I watch this game that San Bernardino executes that style, and you can only go off one game, but they seem to execute that style a little better. They came out with more intensity in this game and don't seem quite as fragile, but granted, they haven't been hit with a barrage of threes, and we'll see how it goes, but they seem to employ that style with more fortitude than what we saw, from Chafee at times, who was taken out of what they wanted to do pretty easily in the first half.
Well, I think what we saw earlier today, John Gilliam really headed the action for Chafee early on, but then they made an adjustment. You have to like Keith Smith a lot better than you like John Gilliam. His ability not only facilitate, he's a score-first point guard, but he can find the open man when necessary, or he can get his own shot. He does a great job of finding his own shot because his quicks, his lateral movement really allow him to create separation. In the half court or the full court, you name it, he's going to excel. And then, of course, you got Jerry Blakes, Pac-12 committed. That talent alone, you have to like San Bernardino Valley. But like I said, what do you do when a team's shooting from 30 feet out and making it? How many times do we see that today?
Yeah, and is there really a way to defend that?
I mean, did Santa Rosa strike you as the better team today?
Meanwhile, a turnover here quickly for San Bernardino.
I thought Chafee might have been the better team, and they didn't win the first game. Santa Rosa, they win because of the three-point ball. And really, I mean, like I said, I think they're very live with their ability to shoot the rock.
We've seen an example of length and athleticism not being enough to stop Santa Rosa. Three-pointer, no good, and a foul on Lockett.
71-60, 2.5 minutes to go. 3 free throws coming.
Well, I'll tell you this, and it's perhaps a break for San Bernardino if they advance to tomorrow. They haven't looked very good against the press.
No.
Couple of turnovers, and the pressure defense has been a problem. And the first free throw for Smith is good.
And you wouldn't really expect that. You have Blakes, you have Smith, you have T.A. Dixon, and Callison. Their ability to handle the basketball seems pretty adept, but, for some reason they just don't react well to pressure in the backcourt.
And not only that, all of those players are adept at slashing and attacking, which is a good way to go against the press, but instead they've seemed a little timid and unsure against the press in the short stretch that we've seen here. Meanwhile, Smith coolly converts the first two but misses the third. Single digits, the deficit now. Daniels breaks the press, and now Callison will bring it out. 2:18.
Oh, he went backcourt.
2:18 counting, and indeed, over and back, so Callison turns it over once again. It's a 9-point game, 2:17 remaining. That's a good call. Eagle eye, Zepeda. Taking a look at it, the foot right on the line. James picked up by Adams in a switch. Brown fakes the three, steps inside the line. The high archer won't go. Crump's follow is short. Gets his own rebound. In a crowd, the layup is good.
A lot of contact, no call. We'll have a timeout called by Chabot.
71-64. Let's take a quick break. 2:01 remaining in the game. San Bernardino trying to hold on. It's the CCCAA Basketball Championships on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Well, hold everything, Michael. The lead down to 7.
Did you just put on the jinx for San Bernardino Valley?
I really did. I'm going to have the players telling me to shut up here in a minute. Smith in trouble in the backcourt, breaks the press and gets it to Adams. Dixon gets it in the hands of Smith, and Briannas picks up the foul.
It's not a bad foul. I mean, it preserves some clock, makes Smith earn it from the free throw line. Briannas, his 3rd foul tonight.
Yeah, you know, from what we've seen at this level, there aren't too many guys, especially in a pressure situation. Hey, we're talking about the state semifinals here. They can really coolly go and knock down a couple of free throws.
Yeah.
Smith heads to the line, the first one in the air, and that's short.
Right on cue, my friend.
Well, I thought I was anti-jinxing him there, talking about how hard it was. I thought.
Apparently it is that hard.
Well, so we found what I can predict accurately. Misses. Second free throw coming for Keith Smith. Rims out. The Wolverines come up empty. It's a 7-point deficit. James, hard drive, jump stop in the lane, drops a pass down low.
A lot of
Crump
body.
has it blocked by Adams, but the foul call.
That's just an easy call. What's the delay for?
Yeah, you keep your eyes up top, and it looks like Adams gets it clean, but plenty of contact with the body, and Crump heading back to the line.
Chance here to make it a 5-point game.
He's up to 9 points. The clock continues to move, 1:35, probably not moving fast enough for San Bernardino supporters.
They just want to get to Sunday.
Crump coolly drains the first free throw.
You know, as a team, San Bernardino doesn't shoot it all that well, 67%. And if you're San Bernardino right now, do you maybe think about calling a timeout to get your free throw shooters in there that are effective? You're not going to do so right now.
Well, Smith has struggled somewhat in the second half from the line, and he's the guy where you'd like to have the ball in his hands. So a conundrum for the Wolverines. Adams has it poked away. San Bernardino will keep it. Both teams are in the double bonus now. So 2 free throws either way, the rest of the way. Meanwhile, San Bernardino still has to get it over. And they do as Chabot backs off. Dixon, a hard drive into the lane. Double pump won't go. The rebound tapped out, controlled by Chabot. Smith, a little stutter step, finds Rogers in the corner. In and out on the 3. The follow by Barrett is good. Boy, Rogers almost had it. They settle for 2. It's down to a 3-point game.
It's a 1-possession game here, Jeff. Here we go.
Under a minute. Daniels on the drive, and he scores.
Good recognition there from Daniels. Had an opening. He took it.
73-68. Rogers fakes the 3, drops it for Barrett. Off the glass, no good. The rebound fought for, and a whistle comes in. It's going to belong to San Bernardino.
2 free throws coming. This might do it here, Jeff. Make this a 3-possession game.
40.5 on the clock.
Barrett thinking about what could have been.
With a furious comeback, they trailed by 14. Cut it all the way down to 3. But Daniels, in our first game, it was Drury, the unlikely hero off the bench with a couple of big hoops. Now it's Austin Daniels coming off the bench. Not Smith, not Blake's, but Daniels, who converts maybe the biggest hoop of the game. Now Callison buries the first free throw.
Remember, Blake's fouled out. It's the reason why he's not on the floor right now.
Callison, second free throw, icy as he hits both free throws. 40.5 remaining. The quick 4-point run for San Bernardino, and they're closing in. They lead it by 7.
Well, you might want to stop talking about it. You might jinx him again. Of course, Chabot, the Chabot following might tell you, hey, keep on talking about San Bernardino.
Hey, listen,
being in the final.
you know, is my allegiance not to good games here, to entertaining finishes? I've got to use my powers for our own ends.
Well, we have two good ones slated for tomorrow, to be sure. Mount Sac,
No, the women's finals
the
going to be
defending
fantastic.
state champion, taking on the number 1 seed in the state, Ventura College, the Lady Pirates. Lisa Marie Sanchez, Cynthia Hernandez. What a shooter.
Well, I'll tell you, depending on who wins tomorrow, but I imagine at some point tomorrow we're going to start talking about, yes, players of the game as we always do, and I'll put you on the spot here in a moment for this game for both sides. But if they win tomorrow and she plays well, Lisa Sanchez, my front runner here for maybe a player of the weekend or sort of a weekend MVP. I mean, what a show
Well, hey,
she put on.
you'd expect nothing less from the
Yesterday.
co-player of the year in the state of California. 4
Yeah.
for 4 from beyond the arc and just doing it all, really.
Yeah, I mean, the way she ran the floor.
Ran the show.
Yeah.
Ran the broadcast. She was our TD.
She's going to come over here.
Hey, guys, you don't want that shot. You want this one here. Broadcast being brought to you by Jostens, Wilson, Bob McCloskey Insurance.
And a special thanks to the California Community College Coaches Association,
Men's and women's.
for their support. Smith into the front court. A quick drive on Keith Smith. Picks it up. Crump going to fire another three. Rimming, no good. The rebound to Daniels. It's been a big last minute for Daniels, and he goes down hard after being fouled by Smith. Pretty much right at our feet here. 28.7. Mike, it's getting close to the Return of the Jedi line.
Might be over, Commander.
High arcing free throw from Daniels is no good. Daniels shoots 56% from the line. And Daniels on the season averaging 1.7 points per game. Well, he made the 1.7 count tonight. A massive hoop in a 3-point game in the final minute.
Absolutely.
8-point lead. Smith loses the handle. It's dug out by Callison. No shot clock now. San Bernardino up 8, and Brown picks up the foul.
No need to foul there. Just let the clock run out.
And for Chabot, the Cinderella season, such as it is, as they were coming on, clearly showing they could play with anybody. But they'll finish the season here tonight. And San Bernardino Valley, winners of the Foothill Conference, will advance to the championship game where they will take on Santa Rosa after the Bear Cubs pulled out a 2-point win earlier tonight. Callison, outstanding from the line. 4 free throws in the final 40 seconds to salt this one away. Brown from the top of the key. No good. The long rebound. Crump tries to put it off Daniels, and he does.
Wow.
So 11.3 remaining.
11.3 academic at this point.
They'll run it out. Swings it across. Smith went for 3, didn't get any. And now Keith Smith will dribble it out. 3 seconds. And that'll do it. Final score 78-68, San Bernardino over Chabot. So the final is set. On the men's side, it'll be San Bernardino against Santa Rosa. That'll be tomorrow at 3:30. First, we'll have coverage of the women's championship at 1 o'clock. We will come back very briefly, wrap things up here from Cerritos College. It's the 3C2A basketball championships on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Well, that'll wrap it up. Day 2 in the books. The men's and the women's table is set. Game 2, San Bernardino Valley, the Wolverines on top of Chabot, 78-68 in a game that was a lot closer than the score would indicate. An impressive performance by the Cinderella Chabot Gladiators, but just, Keith Smith, just too much from the Wolverines.
Yeah,
they
Smith,
move on.
And do not discount for a second, and I know that you're not, T.A. Dixon,
Oh, yeah.
who ultimately was probably the difference in this game. Dixon really keying the surge about midway through the second half when San Bernardino really took control and went up by double digits and then had to withstand the late push. And, as you pointed out late in the game, no time to really work on it, but something to think about tomorrow, wrinkle to think about. A lot of struggle with the press, and not necessarily just the press, but any kind of pressure defense really seemed to take San Bernardino out of what they like to do, especially with Blake's not on the floor.
Yeah, Blake's tonight, 15 points in the first half, only 3 in the second, finishes with 18 fouls out with about 5 minutes remaining, and a bit of a scare there from Chabot as really the Gladiators were able to get back into it. They cut a 14-point deficit down to 3, I believe, in the final minutes.
At one point.
But able to pull away, hit their free throws down the stretch. Wolverines move on. Let's talk a little bit about tomorrow and the games. First, the women, we talked about it throughout the men's action today. The defending state champion Mount Sac Lady Mounties taking on the number 1 seed in California, the Ventura College Pirates, and Jeff, that's just going to be a battle.
I have to say that's maybe the marquee matchup of the weekend and the one that you were hoping for. I mean, a storied program in Mount Sac. I mean, a perennial powerhouse, and they bring what they always bring, which is being extremely well coached, but also very long and athletic. And they'll put the pressure on you, and they will challenge you physically. And so that is a fascinating matchup between the execution and the shooting of Ventura against that length and athleticism, and who ultimately is going to win the battle, for the soul of that game between the execution and the athleticism, between those two teams. And it's the second matchup between those two teams. And the first one, it appeared that Mount Sac was able to do what they wanted to do. They got the 9-point win, but the score was also very low. I believe it was 63-54 was the final in that game. But that was, over 4 months ago now. So, this is a whole new season, but we'll see what kind of adjustments Ventura can make. There'll be some familiarity there. So I'm really looking forward to that one. I mean, that is just a fantastic matchup on paper, and I expect nothing less in person tomorrow.
Co-player of the year, Lisa Marie Sanchez, leading the way yesterday. 4-4 from downtown. As a team, I believe Ventura was I think they made 16 or 13 threes yesterday.
Yeah, they took over 30. I mean, they are not shy.
No, not gun shy at all, and they're able to make it. Then they have Cynthia Hernandez, who we talked about yesterday, shooting at the best clip and the most amount made of three-pointers in not just California but the nation as well. So I mean, just an uncanny ability from beyond the three-point mark. And let's turn over to the men. In the late game tomorrow, Santa Rosa, as we saw today, can absolutely chuck it from downtown and make them with regularity. And we're not talking about from the 21-foot variety. We're talking about at the hash mark.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to guard them a third of the way down the court because
they're going to throw it from the scorer's table if they can.
You know what? They probably make it. They're probably 60% with nobody guarding.
That probably comes up in their horse games, I imagine. From the scorer's table.
That'll do it for day 2. Tomorrow, game 1, 1 o'clock, going to be the women Mount Sac versus Ventura. And in the men's game, 3:30 tentatively scheduled, it's going to be Santa Rosa and San Bernardino Valley. For Jeff Stornoff, I am Mike Zepeda. So long, everybody.